Hello friends. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Sydney and I am a part-time reseller on Poshmark, and I also just finally got myself onto eBay. So we are going to be doing a little bit of a what sold for the month of November. It is December 8th. I'm a little behind on doing this, but this will be my first video that I post since like my what sold of May of 2025. So it's just been, life's gotten in the way of reselling, and that's okay because I'm just a part-time reseller and I have to remind myself of that. I've still been doing my reselling business, like just not what I normally would do. A little less structured. I'm just doing what I can when I can. My son played a lot of sports this year. We had a very busy season, I guess I could say. Now that it's winter, we're cooped up. We got like our first snowstorm in December 1st. So we got like 7 or 8 inches, and it was, like welcome to winter, even though it's still technically fall. And then a couple of days later, it ended up being like -2 at night. And we have just had a really cold spurt for the last couple of weeks or the last week or so. And we've just been cooped up. So I figured, why not do a little bit of a what sold for you guys. I figured, being that Christmas is coming, my sales would be a little bit higher, but with all of Poshmark's changes, they definitely have gone down. But I did do a sale, you'll see, like a Black Friday sale, and I did pretty well with that. I think I had about like 9 orders in total, and that's a lot for me. I mean, like I said, I'm a part-time reseller. I don't do this often. But I also have started listing on eBay. I'm enjoying that. It's different. It's a little bit harder. It's a little bit of a learning curve, but I have made a few sales, so I am happy to continue doing it. Why not? If I made some sales. I have yet to like find a good cross-listing platform that I want to use, so let me know what you guys use. If there's like a bot, a VA, virtual assistant, that can do all of it in like the easiest way possible, I would be open to that. So let me know what you guys do and like what VAs you use. Okay, sorry for I'm gonna be looking down a lot, but I wanted to leave a blank spot over here, so that's why I'm like this right now. I wanted to leave a blank spot so that I can throw up screenshots of the items that I sold, and I'll kind of give you a quick overview of the date that they sold and how much I made, my cost of goods. If I remember a lot of this stuff, I probably won't, to be completely honest. So let's start. Okay, first up, we had these Speed unisex cycling shoes. If you guys watched my, I think I got these in a shoebox, a thread up shoebox. They're like unbranded. Speed is the brand technically. I bet there's like an Amazon one. They sold for $10. My earnings were $7.05. So that means that my cost of goods in that shoebox, I think it was like $5 a pair or so. I can't remember, but around, we'll say $5. So really my profit's only like $2, but I had these for a while and I was happy to see them go. And then on November 2nd, I had this bundle of 2 kids Vineyard Vines shirts. They're button downs. They're boys, size medium, both of them. I got them in a kids box and they sold for $14 for the 2 of them together. I accepted an offer. I had them listed a little high, but at that point, I think the box that I got this from, I have well made my money back. So my earnings on that were like $11.05. That would put me, I would say, per piece, I maybe had like $1 into them, $2 at max. So we'll say a profit of like $8 just to be on the safe side. Okay, and also on November 2nd, I had a bundle sale. This Universal Threads gauzy cotton dress, size medium, and then these Adidas cropped leggings. I sold both of these. I'm not sure exactly what the bundle price was, but my earnings were $12.80. And the leggings were free to me. They were my aunt's. She gave them to me to sell. And then this dress was mine. And again, I call that free to me because I've gotten my wear out of it. Anything that's from my personal closet, that's free money. Girl math. So this is a complete profit of $12.80. Okay, then we're gonna hop over to eBay. This was my third sale ever on eBay. It was this Nuitag Fox Racing camo hat. It's their Flex Fit. I think I priced this a little low, but you know what? It was my boyfriend sitting in our closet for, I don't know, 10 years, new with tags. So we got rid of that. He doesn't really even wear hats. Yeah, it sold for $14. So my total order earnings after the shipping fees and everything was $11.03. Not bad. And it was an easy ship. I am more than happy with that. And then on November 5th, I had this latte cake style coat. It was a wool and cashmere blend, a size extra, extra large. It sold for $64. My earnings were $51.20. This came in the very first startup box I ever ordered, and I vividly remember it. I looked it up. This is when I was like newer to reselling. Looked it up. I was like, this is a $450 coat. I'm gonna make $300 off of this. No. This has been listed for well over a year and a half, maybe close to 2. Long time. I had so much interest on this coat too. It was making me so angry. And then I look back and I'm like, my pictures were awful. My description was awful. But that's part of reselling, is you need to learn and grow. But also I didn't feel like relisting it and taking new pictures because I was lazy and it was already packed away nicely and ready to ship. So I was not going to take it out of the bag. I put everything in like a poly mailer, a clear like cellophane bag. I'm not going to take it out of the bag, relist it, take better measurements. I'm just not. It's not worth my effort at that point. So to sell it for $64 and make $51, I'm more than happy with that. Great. So probably at this point I had like $3 into this, we'll say. So pretty good. On November 7th, I sold these loft pants. These were mine. Again, one of the very first things I had listed on my Poshmark account. You can tell by the pictures, like awful, so bad. These were listed. I did this at my parents' house. Like I was going through my old stuff that I had left there years ago. My mom's like, get rid of this stuff. Can't stay here. Whatever. So these sold for $6, a whopping $3.05 that I earned. And my mom was happy that they were out of her house. And I was happy to make $3 off something that I've had for years sitting I didn't even know about. November 9th, I had this Madewell sweater, size large. This had a lot of wear to it, but I think it was just that kind of fabric. I did give it a sweater shave and it still just didn't look great to me, but it was a cute sweater. I liked the color. It was Madewell. This was also mine. I got it in a Pasho, wore it a bunch of times. So literally nothing into this. I probably got it for like $3. Sold for $16. My earnings were $12. And like I said, that was mine. So free to me, I guess. So $12.80 profit. Can't beat it. And November 10th, Peter Thomas Roth Instant Firmex Tightening Face Cream. Sold for $25. My earnings were $20. This was also free to me. My aunt gave me these. She hated them. I tried it. I'm like, I don't need this. I don't want this. And so she had given me 3 of them and I listed them all. So one has sold for $25. And if anybody wants them, I have 2 more. On November 13th, I had this Ralph Lauren floral printed bag. It did have some transfer marks. It must have rubbed against something else. I got this in a handbag box, and so I probably had about $5 to $7 into it. Those are pretty pricey. So it sold for $30. My earnings were $24, and the woman left me the sweetest love note. She said, this bag is beautiful. The black transfer marks are very light, hardly visible when looking at the whole bag. Super fast shipping and delivery. We love somebody. I get nervous selling things that have flaws, but I just make sure to disclose it in every way, shape, or form, take up close pictures of the flaws, and price accordingly. This bag, I was very surprised to see. The going rate, when I looked it up, I don't remember, it was off the top of my head, I would think it was like $70. Like it was selling for a used bag. So I thought I priced it at like $40, and she offered me $30. I was more than willing to take that. And to have somebody appreciate something and know that there was flaws and still leave a great love note, oh, I love that. Because I do get very nervous doing that because you're kind of opening yourself up to a case. But even though I listed everything, told the flaws, took multiple pictures, this woman appreciated it and I appreciate her for that. On November 14th, we had this new 6-pack of Nike kids socks. They were maybe kids, men's, I don't remember, but these did come in a kids box. And they offered me $10, so my earnings were $7.05. I'm not going to complain about that. Came in a kid's box that I'm pretty sure I've made my money back plus some. We'll say I had $1 into them, $6 profit. Decent for me. Okay. And also on November 14th, I had these Loft Utility straight leg pants. These were so cute and pictures did not do them justice. If I was a too petite, I would have rocked these. They were so adorable. I got these in a throw-up box. I think I probably had $2 into them. They sold for $11 and my earnings were $8.05, so profit of about $6. Okay, one of these on November 14th also, I must have sent out like half off offers because I had a couple sales on that day. On November 14th, if you guys remember, I did a, what is it, Boutique by the Box? Is that what that? I don't remember, but I got a box of New Tag J. Crew swimwear, and I have so many left still. They're just not selling. The market's flooded with them. So I've been offering as little as I possibly can on them. I have about $3 into each of these, I think. Really not a bad investment, but they're just taking a long time. They're sitting, and I'm trying to move them. So this one sold for $20, and my earnings were $16. Like I said, I had about $3 into each of them, so my profit was about $13. Not mad. Move them out. I have so many left. If anybody needs a cute bathing suit, and they are really cute. They're really cute. Go to my closet, please. You won't be mad. Give you the best deal I can. Okay, so I had on November 15th these Eileen Fisher Ponte pants. They were super cute. I did a half off offer for sure, and these sold for $19. My earnings were $15.20. I'm pretty sure my cost of goods had to be from a throw-up box, probably about $2, so my earnings were about $13. I'm not mad about that. Eileen Fisher doesn't resell for a ton, but it's a nice quality brand and people do look for it. Okay, on November 15th also, I had this Urban Outfitters cropped chenille cardigan. I got this at a garage sale for $1 and it sold for $11. My earnings were $8, so my profit was $7. This was really cute. I don't normally pick up Urban Outfitters, but at a garage sale for $1, and it was like the style was there. Thought it was a good investment. $1, can't go wrong. And then on November 16th, I had this Polo Ralph Lauren cable knit little girl's sweater. It was so cute. It did have a little bit of pilling, but really minor wear. I got this in a kids box also, a very recent kids box that you guys have not even seen yet, which was, I think it was really good. It sold within like a week of me listing it for $20, and my earnings were $16, which means my profit was, we'll say about $15. For a kid's top, that's a really good profit. On November 16th, I had this another bathing suit. Thank God. This one sold for $8. Yes. Like I said, I am trying to move these as quick as I need to get them out of here. I'm so sick of seeing a whole bin of them taking up space in my inventory, and yeah. So this was a size medium. This sold for $8, so my earnings were $5.05. I had about $3 into this, so my profit was $2. Don't care. It's gone. On November 16th as well, I had this New Tag Francesca's sweater dress. It was super cute. I did a little bit of retail arbitrage with this one, and I got it on their website on clearance last winter, and I listed it after it was off their website. And somebody offered me $22. My earnings were $17. I want to say I paid about $5 for this on clearance. They had some really crazy sale last winter. So my profit was about $12, and I think that's a really decent profit, and it was a super cute sweater dress. So in a size large, I knew it would sell, but it did take a little while, longer than I was anticipating. But Francesca's, it's not like the most sought after brand. On November 17th, I had these 90 Degrees by Reflex flare leggings. I got these in a throw-up box. I was like, this is like a 200-pound throw-up box. I'm like, nobody's gonna want these. I asked my mom if she wanted them because they're cute, but they're just like 90 degrees. Nobody's really buying those. I offered to my mom. She didn't like them. And I said, you know what? Fine, I'll just list them. I tried them at buy, sell, trade. Nobody wanted them. This was for $14 within 3 days of me listing them. Like, I was so mad. I'm like, This is why I'm telling you, list the, like, be a volume selling if you have the capability of doing it. It's worth it, in my opinion. Sold for $14 and I made $11.05. I want to say these came in a thread-up box of 200 pounds, so my profit was about, I would say, like $9. That's really good. It didn't take me long. It was a quick listing. I don't know. I guess that's just me. I'll invest my time into these lower end items and price accordingly, get quick flips. Those $10, $15 sales really add up when you're making more of them throughout the week than you would with like a high-end designer brand that's really, not many people are looking for. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Does that make sense? I'm rambling, but that's my take on, I'm leaning more towards volume reselling. Okay, here's my soapbox. On November 18th, I sold these Burt's Bees little sleeper. It's so cute. It's the wolf print. I love Burt's Bees pajamas, and as a mom, I really hate spending like 20 bucks on a brand new pair that's gonna just get worn immediately. And they're wearing them to bed. So if I can get a good deal on any Burt's Bees, I will totally get them on the resale market. And they only make so many prints within a certain time frame. So my son loves them. They're comfortable. And he's starting to grow out of them. It's making me sad, but he thinks they're a little babyish now. But yeah, so these I got in a thread-up box. They were I sold them for $11. I made $8.05, and that thread-up was a kid's box, so probably $1 into each item. So about a $7 profit. Not mad about that. And like kids' clothes are so easy to store, so easy to ship, and so easy to list. I sit on my floor and I just pop them all down, take some pics, list them, and it's so much quicker than like putting all my shirts on my mannequins, putting the dresses on the mannequins. So many different angles that you need to get. I'm like really like loving listing kids' clothes. It's my favorite thing to do lately. So, and then I was going through my son's closet and his room and just cleaning out a random bin of like, you know how your kids get all these miscellaneous little figures and all these little things and you don't know what they go to anymore. You probably sold the big item that it goes with, and you find like the little Blippi character or the Little People character. I said, you know what? He's 7. He's totally over Blippi. He's moved on. And I found a pile of them in his room. And I was like, you know what? I was going to donate them. I said, I'm going to just list them. I listed them for $25. No, $20. It was 6 of the little characters and 2 of the cars, the vehicles. They sold within a day for $20. Less than 24 hours, they sold. $16 profit. That is free money. And they were like this big. I shipped them in a little box. It was the best thing I've ever done. It sounds so silly, but like if you're cleaning out your kid's room and they have these tiny little figurines, there might be a kid out there that is looking for the specific Blippi, and their parents will pay anything for it. 20 bucks for these little Blippi figurines, easy money, quick flip. I'm so happy about that one. And then on November 24th, I sold this Talbot's striped dress. Sold for $11. This was mine. I never really wore it. I think I got it in like a Posh show for $3. So let's just say my earnings were 8. We'll say my profit was like 7 or 5. We'll say 5. I'm more than happy with $5. And then I think this is where I got into I sent out my Black Friday sale. I can't remember the date. I can't remember the date that I sent it out, but somewhere around this time. And my offer was 50% off anything in my closet, and then 60% off a bundle of 2 or more items. A lot of people bundled, as you'll see. So these leggings sold for $18. I got these in a thread-up box. Noli is the brand. So we'll say I had about $2 into them. My earnings were $14.40, profit of about $12. So this was one of the bundles. November 28th. So that was my Black Friday sale. Yeah, that makes sense. November 28th, I had all these kids' clothes. I'll pop them up here. A lot of, all the same size 4, 4T, extra small, 4 or 5. Actually, every single thing was new with tag. A lot of these are my son's. He just outgrew them before he actually wore them, or it wasn't something that he liked and I missed the return window. So my loss is their gain. It was 4 pairs of pants and 2 button-down shirts. So my earnings were $24.80. So I think I sold it for like $31-ish. I mean, to me, that money's been long gone. I bought all these with anticipating that my son would wear them, not to resell. So this is just any money I can get back as a profit to me. So $24.80, I'm not mad about that. And then my second bundle from that sale was one of the bathing suits. Thank God. And this Amsterdam Blau by Scotch and Soda jacket that I got in a thredUP box. It ended up being a men's jacket. It was very niche, hard to find any comps on it. But I'm glad this person is going to enjoy it. I sold the bundle for $43. And then my earnings were $34.40. So let's say I had about $6 in total into this. So my like actual profit was $28. I think that's great. I know I probably could have gotten more for the jacket, but it's been listed for a really long time and it has not had a lot of interest. Like I said, it's very niche. It's not like big on the resale market. And this is one of the 50% off sales on the 28th. It's a Wilson sports brand little fitted tank or t-shirt, and it sold for $13. My earnings were $10. This came in a thredUP box, so my profit was about $8. A lot of this stuff has been listed for a really long time. I have not been doing a lot of listing over the summer months and summer into fall because we had a lot of sports activities on the weekends. That's when I do my listing. And so a lot of this has been sitting. So I was more than happy to move it at 50% off or 60% off the bundles. So I wasn't really worried about losing any money at this point. I price things accordingly and I'm not afraid to do a half off sale. So also on the half off sale on November 28th, I had this Nike tank top. This also came in a thredUP box. Let's say I had about $2 into it. Sold for $12. My earnings were $9.05, so a profit of about $7. Another bundle on the 29th. These new Tag Express jeans. There were a flare, a long length, and this Ann Taylor blouse. Both of these came in a thredUP box, so I had about $4 into that. 2 of them together. They sold, my earnings are $15.20. I think they sold for like $19. So profit of about $11. Not great, but again, something's been listed for a long time. I'm not worried about it. Another half off order. Again, list the random things. These little people, it's just a random lot of the little figures. Sold for $10. My earnings were $7. Found these in my son's room. This is pure profit. Okay. Again, this little plushie. These were the Disney babies. Every time we went to Disney, we bought one when my son was little. My brother and my sister-in-law go to Disney like a couple times a year. So they would always bring him back one. And he said, they're babies. I don't want them anymore. He's too cool now. So I was like, you know what? Somebody's gonna be looking for these. I listed this one, sold within a week, if that. $17, and my earnings were $13.60. I'm not gonna complain about that. Oh, I did have an eBay order in the middle of this. So on November 26th, my dad had a bunch of stuff from like my grandfather's old storage units. And I've just been listing that when I feel that it's worth it and when I have time. So this little goofy vintage watch sold for $45. It was really cute. And I was like, no, there's no way. My dad's like, look it up on eBay, see what it sells for. $45, that was a good deal for them. And it was brand new in the box. My earnings were $37.09 after taxes and shipping and the eBay, fees and everything. But $37.09, that's great. That was free to me. And then another thing on November 28th, I sold another one of the Disney babies. This one sold for $14. I can't get over these Disney babies. I've had a lot of interest on them. Maybe I priced them too low, but I really don't care. They're out of my house. So this one sold for $20.91. They sold for $14, but with the shipping and everything. So my order earnings $10.76, which is all profit to me. Back to Posh. Sorry, I got a little out of order there. Had on November 29th, this new tag Nike Dry Fit sold for $7. My earnings were $4. This was my son's. He outgrew and whatever. Somebody else got a great deal on Nike thermal. That was probably 30 bucks, 40 bucks. So again, these little Disney wishables, these sold on November 30th. They're literally this big. They're like the mystery packages that you can get from Disney. There was a couple Monsters Inc. ones, and then one just like, it was their snacks, I guess. Found these in my son's room, listed them, $8, or they sold for $8. My earnings were $5. That was all of my sales for the month of November. Yeah, my whole month of November really wasn't bad. I'll try to like throw some totals on the screen. I'm not sure. But running that sale was so worth it to me. I got rid of a lot of some stale inventory, and you know what? If I made any money off of it, I'm happy. I'm not doing this full time. So if I have $3 invested into something, I'm not worried about selling it and only making $5. Honestly, I just enjoy this, and it is some good extra cash. And if I'm making any profit, I'm happy. So yeah, I think that was a pretty decent month for the month of November. So far in December, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have about 6 or 7 sales. 6, 7, you know, because that's what the kids are doing nowadays. If my son heard me, he would have came out doing it. I'm so cringy, according to him. I'm cringy when I do the 6, 7. I think it was a pretty decent month, and I'm hoping that November will be an even better, or December will be an even better month. Hoping to grow a little bit on eBay, continue on with that. So yeah, I appreciate you guys for sticking through. This was a long one. Like, I'm gonna try to knock it down, but right now I'm at 33 minutes on my screen. I'm a talker, and I can't help it. I've been this way my whole life. I appreciate you guys sticking with me, and I hope that you're glad I'm back. I'm glad to be back. So yeah. If you could like, comment, and subscribe if you aren't already, I would totally appreciate that. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.